Hey guys, it's Claude. We're back again with this box, which has been pretty lucky for us so far. We have only had one Brobnar deck, and this is going to be our 5th deck that we're opening. This is extremely odd for the channel to not just have a box full of Brobnar. I hope that you guys opening boxes at home have not had to experience the Brobnar streak. It is awful. Alright, Green Archon. Dis. Logos. Oh my gosh, can we do it again? And Saurians! Oh, this is such a blessing. Alright. Vidius, Throt Trails Enforcer. And that's a different sort of Archon here. I've never seen actually, I guess these are like disjointed legs or some sort of limbs. Coming out, yeah, I'm going to picture this as actually just a huge head back here. And it has the ability to like make its hands just come out of nowhere and grab you sort of thing. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's see what we have inside this thing. And shameless plug, if you like my videos, I would appreciate it if you give this video a like, maybe leave a comment. I do read every single comment that you guys leave on my videos. Alright, let's see what this thing has in store for us. Starting off with Saurians. It's So Salt, Amber Navy Plate, Alpha. Until the start of your next turn, creatures cannot be used to reap. Hope we have some great fight effects in here then. The Calipegian Ideal, it's an upgrade. Play, exalt this creature. This creature gains, you may spend amber on this creature as if it were in your pool. Okay, now I'm hoping we have some big guys. Oh. I have not opened this card in quite a while. 6 Semper Tyrannosaurus. Move each amber from the most powerful creature to your pool and destroy that creature. That could be pretty nice with all the dinosaur decks running around. Library of Paliosaurus, it's an artifact. Action, move an amber from a friendly creature to your pool. Saurian Legionary, 5 power, 1 armor, taunt. Play, ward a friendly creature. Senator Shrix, 4 power, 1 armor. You may spend amber on Senator Shrix as if it were in your pool. Play Reap. You may exalt Senator Shrix. Phalanx Strike, amber whenever you play it. Choose a creature. Deal 1 damage to it for each friendly creature. You may exalt a friendly creature to repeat the preceding effect. Legatus Raptor, 4 power, 1 armor. Fight. You may exalt it. If you do, ready and use another friendly creature. Imperial Scutum, it's an upgrade. Amber whenever you play it. This creature gets +2 armor and gains destroyed. Move each amber from this creature to the common supply. Pretty good, great way to protect these creatures we want to get amber on them. Thanks to the Ideal and Senator Shrix here, but I feel like we're kind of light on creatures here. We have, what, 1, 2, 3 creatures so far. That is gonna be a little bit of a problem. We need to finish out with Saurian creatures. Uh-oh. Chant of Hubris, amber whenever you play it. Move 1 amber from a creature to another creature. Brutodon Auxiliary, 6 power taunt, and it has Hazardous too. It's typically the last card in Saurians. Oh, unless you have an Axiom of Grist, which is a great card, but in here maybe not so much. 4 dinosaur creatures is a little bit of a problem. Ward a creature, destroy each creature with no amber on it, gain 2 change. So obviously this is a very powerful card in a deck that's going to have a lot of creatures that have amber on it. We only had 2 creatures that put amber on themselves, the Senator plus the Legatus Raptor. Our other houses in here are what? Let's see, Logos and Dis. They are not very well known for putting amber on them. I guess maybe Lithal, and I'm not sure what else is really going to put amber on itself in here, so I'm not sure how good that card is going to be other than just being a straight board wipe, gaining some chains. Now we're on to Logos Positron Bolt. Amber whenever you play it. Deal 3 damage to a flank creature, 2 to its neighbor, and 1 damage to the second creature's other neighbor. Dr. Millie, 2 power play. For each creature your opponent controls in excess of you, not counting Dr. Millie, archive a card. Candle Unit, 5 power, 1 armor. After an enemy creature reaps, draw a card. Action, capture an amber. Wormhole Technician, 3 power, reap. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Logos card, play it. Otherwise, archive it. Oh, a second one of those. Twin Bolt Emission, amber whenever you play it. Deal 2 damage to a creature and 2 to a different creature. Sanitation Engineer, 4 power, hazardous 1. Reap, discard a card from your hand. Quant, 3 power, reap. You may play 1 non-Logos action card this turn. Okay, quite a bit of creatures and Logos making up for the lack of them in Saurians. Hologramophone, it's an artifact. Amber whenever you play it. Action, ward a creature. Igor, 2 power, play. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, and discard the others. Cutthroat Research, amber whenever you play it. Steal 2 amber if your opponent has 8 or more amber. And a second one of those. Now we are on to Dis, and it's a fair game, and it's anything but a fair game. Discard the top card of your opponent's deck and reveal their hand. You gain amber for each card of the discarded card's house revealed this way. Your opponent repeats the preceding effect on you. So obviously this card gets the most value whenever you have a handful of Dis. You play out like maybe 5 discards in your hand. You have 1 card left of a different house. At most, your opponent gets 1 amber. So when you play in that situation, odds are you're going to get more amber than your opponent ever will. Snag, 5 power, fight. Your opponent must choose the house of the creature Snag fights as their active house on the next turn. Gleeful Mayhem. Amber, whenever you play it, for each house, deal 5 damage to a creature of that house. Pretty good if you share houses with your opponent. The Evil Eye. Amber, whenever you play it, keys cost +3 amber during your opponent's next turn. Not finished with you. Amber, whenever you play it, shuffle any number of creatures from your discard pile into your deck. Hold up. We have 1 disc creature in 5 so far. Please don't let this be a super low discount. Uh-oh. Misery Exploit. Gain 1 amber for each damaged enemy creature. Infernus, 4 power. Play, purge up to 2 cards from a discard pile. Your opponent loses amber equal to the total amber bonus of the purged cards. Oh, a second one of those. Very nice. And an Exhume. Amber, whenever you play it, choose a creature in your discard pile. You may play that creature as if it belonged to the active house and was in your hand. Always goes well with those Infernuses. Draining Touch, destroy a creature with no amber on it. Dendrix, 5 power fight. Your opponent discards a random card from their hand. And the last card of the deck is Binding Irons. Your opponent gains 3 chains. As I feared, the Axiom of Grisk is not that powerful in this deck. Sure, it is a board wipe, but a lot of decks that have it are able to really abuse it, turning into more of a one-sided board wipe. Alright, let's get our amber up. Let's see, I feel like, well, we know it was pretty light on creatures because we did count up our Saurians as we went through it. So that could be a little bit of a problem. Hopefully we had enough support cards then to where it's not that big of an issue. I guess that So Salt, ironically, is somehow a little bit better. Because we don't have many Saurian creatures to reap with, so yeah, I guess that's okay. Alright, we have 1. I'm going to count this as 1 in here. I'm hoping our opponent's going to be playing some Saurians, so we'll be able to get some amber off theirs. Worst case scenario, we can string together some of these cards to increase our odds of actually getting 1 off this guy. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll call this 11 to be on the safe side. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, 16's pretty good. Not bad at all. Let's get our amber control up. I guess Soul Salt is a little bit of amber control. Sick could maybe be amber control. Since we're protecting amber, our opponents could gain. Scudam will kind of put that up there. Hubris, I guess, as well. They're so light on it, you can't necessarily count it, though. Evil Eye is nice. Could almost pull up the Not Finished With You. If we had more than just the Infernuses for amber control, like, say, some Saurian creatures that whenever they fought, they captured amber, or so on and so forth, I think we could have pulled this up, but not so much in this deck. Exhume, possibly. Once again, it just comes down to those Infernuses, though. A little bit of a problem. And the library a little bit as well. Not so great because we're not having many of our Saurians putting amber on themselves. So we won't count that. We basically have 1, 2, 3. Kind of. Okay, definitely 4. Yeah, it's really hard to count in this. We're going to go with the number 4. Let's get our creatures up. Exhume will throw up there. Okay, Latin logos. Which is kind of funny because we had Dr. Million there, which actually would have been a little bit more okay with a smaller count, just to help archive and push the deck some more. But I guess if you drop before all the logos creatures, you can still get a decent amount of archive off of it. Alright, we have 1, 5, 10, 15, 16. Yeah, not that great, especially because I believe I counted the Exhume in there. Maybe I didn't. Oh yeah, Not Finished With You is not going to do too much. Kind of rough. Yeah, ooh, man, oh man. Alright, let's talk a little bit about this deck. Okay, since this is a lighter creature deck, I think something that would be kind of funny to do, and maybe you guys can do this in some of your decks, would be using Dr. Millie to essentially get rid of maybe a certain house in our deck, just archive all those cards, make our deck really small, and just focus on 2 houses so we can constantly bring them back. Logos is a great house to keep. We don't want to archive that. Maybe archive away some of the Saurian cards. I could see that being a very valid strategy because what I like here is the Exhume. We have a lighter creature deck to begin with. Maybe we use a board wipe. We had a good amount of board control in here. We'll talk about that in a moment. Control their board a little bit. Use Dr. Millie to archive a bunch of Saurian's cards. Maybe keep the creatures because we had some protection and potential free keys there. Let the Millie go away, whether it's from some of our removal or maybe we did a board wipe like an Axiom of Grisk on a previous turn. Bring the Millie back with the Exhume. Archive some more of the Saurian cards away from our deck or whatever house we decide is least valuable against our opponents. But if we look at this, if we turn this into more of just a 2-house deck, I mean, this Logos is pretty solid. And the Dis, actually, just bringing back all this Dis. Let's bring these all up. What would this deck look like? Okay, that'd be kind of fun. You could Evil Eye him and then Cutthroat Research him the next turn. You still got a decent amount of board control, actually quite a bit of board control doing it like this. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these Saurian cards are great, but not so great in here. And I don't mind getting rid of those. How many of these discards were actually creatures? Let's pull those up real quick, just so I have a better idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, there was only 4 essentially in disc 2. Exhume is kind of the 5th. That is a little bit rough. Ooh. But I do like the disc for being one of the removal houses, and plus it creates the trick of doing the melee or Infernuses in the future, which are going to be important. But yeah, you got removal here. Got good amber gain if you need it. Bringing back specific creatures, more removal. Once again, amber gain. And a fair game will be easier to pull off just having a handful of discs. Get yourself down to no cards. Make it where they can't get any amber off you. And you're always trying to get at least an amber off them. Yeah, the Logos creatures are basically the best cards in here. I mean, Quant, Sanitation Engineer, Technician, Candle Unit, Millie. These are all some form of card advantage. Archiving cards. Drawing cards if your opponent reaps. Getting to either archive or play Logos cards is very nice, especially if we get this down to a Logos disc deck, that'd be awesome. Sanitation Engineer, speeding through your deck. Quant, same deal. Igor, we know that. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I doubt we can do that though. We're going to have to be up against some pretty slow decks for this strategy to work, but it's at least something the deck could do. Yeah, this Saurians, I guess it could help us get to that point. Might even actually keep the Axiom of Grisk in there if possible. Yeah, you would just keep a couple of these cards. I said the 4 creatures are fine. Maybe the Imperial Scudum. And then like the Axiom of Grisk possibly. That's kind of how I think we would have to play this deck. It's going to have to be a little bit gimmicky, and it's not that great of a gimmick to be honest. Alright guys, being a gimmicky deck and not a very powerful gimmick, I'm going to have to rate this deck on the lower side. This is more like a D, maybe D+. I think we'll just stick with a D. The creatures that are good in here are really easy to deal with. It's the Logos creatures. They don't have elusive. They don't have a huge amount of power. It'd be a little bit different if we had something like Titan Guardian in here, because that would at least give us some protection and some more card draw. That would have been pretty sweet. But without something like that, and the Saurians, which is normally a very powerful house, being weaker in here is a big issue. Alright guys, well thank you very much for watching my videos, and I will see you next time.